Hello, dear listener. Tonight, we're going to take a long, quiet journey back in time, back to the warm sands and slow-flowing waters of ancient Egypt, a world of soft linen, river breezes, and golden sunrises. But this isn't the story of a pharaoh or a mighty pyramid. No, tonight you'll be spending a peaceful day in the life of someone far simpler. A village baker, a man named Sahure who wakes each morning before the sun, just as the stars are fading into blue. Let your body relax. Let your thoughts float. And if you fall asleep, that's perfectly okay. This story will stay with you like the scent of warm bread in the air. So come. Let's visit Sahure on a quiet morning along the Nile. The village before dawn. The air is cool before the sun rises. In a little mud brick house with a roof made of palm stalks, Sahure stirs gently in his sleep. His home is simple, one room with soft, worn walls made from clay and straw. A mat of reeds lies beneath him. Beside him, curled in a ball, sleeps a cat with sand-colored fur. Outside, the world is still. No cars yet, no footsteps. Just the soft, steady whispers of the Nile flowing quietly past the reeds. A rooster calls once, a low, sleepy sound. Then again, and Sahure opens his eyes. He doesn't rush. No one rushes this early. He sits up slowly, stretches his arms, presses one hand to the center of his back, an old habit, and smiles at the cat, who blinks lazily, then rolls onto its side. In one corner of the room, he keeps his work tools, a stone grinder, a smooth wooden paddle, and a heavy round pot covered carefully with a cloth. This is his dough. It's been rising through the night, warm and patient. He reaches for a small bowl of water and washes his face with his hands. The water is cool, taken from a clay jug hours earlier. Outside, the sky begins to glow soft purple at the edges. The stars are disappearing one by one. Preparing the dough, Sahure walks quietly to his oven, which sits just behind the house. It's shaped like a beehive, made from thick clay and lined with smooth stones inside. He gathers dried twigs and palm husks from a basket, lays them carefully into the belly of the oven, and lights them with flint and dried grass. It takes time, but there's no rush. The fire begins to crackle. The smell of smoke curls up into the early morning air, mixing with the scent of sweet reeds from the river. Back inside, Sahure lifts the cloth from the dough. It's risen beautifully round, soft, dusted with fine flour from emmer wheat. He smiles. This dough will become small, round loaves, the kind eaten by workers, scribes, and even priests in the temple. He kneads it slowly, folding and pressing, his hands strong but gentle. Birds begin to call in the distance, soft, chattering chirps from the trees. The smell of baking bread. When the fire has burned low and only hot embers remain, Sahure begins shaping the dough into discs and ovals. He dusts each one with crushed seeds, then leans into the oven's open mouth and gently places them inside. The heat surrounds the dough immediately, not too fast, not too hot. He seals the oven entrance with a stone, then leans back on his heels and listens. Crackle, pop, hiss. The sound of bread beginning to bake. He closes his eyes for a moment. There is a deep peace in this moment. The work is already half done. He sits down on a woven stool, sips water from a clay cup, and listens to the breeze as it moves through the papyrus leaves. Time passes softly. There is no clock here. Only sun and shadow, wind and warmth. The smell of baking bread begins to drift down the path towards the village center. One by one, neighbors stir in their homes. A boy chasing chickens, a woman drawing water, a sleepy goat bleating from behind a fence. And still the baker waits, letting the fire do its work. Morning in the village. By the time the sun has risen over the brown clay rooftops, the bread is ready. Sahura lifts each piece out with care. He sets them on a woven mat to cool in the morning breeze. The crust is golden. The smell is sweet. And somewhere behind him, the old cat meows softly as if asking for her share. He tears off a small corner and places it gently before her. The baker's work is not over, but this first task, this beautiful ritual of the morning bake, is complete. The rest of the day will bring neighbors, children with coins, priests requesting offerings, and friends who simply want to talk. But for now, he sits quietly with his bread. He sips his water, and he watches as the Nile begins to shimmer in the morning light. Another day has begun in this small, forgotten village. Another peaceful morning in the land of Egypt. Part 2. Midday in the market. Sahure, the village baker, has already baked his morning bread. Now, as the golden sun rises higher and the warm wind flows from the river, the village around him begins to wake fully. It's time for Sahure to carry his bread to the market square. Let's walk with him, slowly, as the morning stretches into midday. Nothing is rushed here. No hurry, no noise. Just the soft hum of daily life in a quiet, sun-warmed land by the Nile. Packing the bread. Inside his home, Sahure carefully arranges the warm loaves into a woven basket lined with linen. Each loaf is placed with care, the crusts still slightly warm, the seeds on top glistening faintly in the light. He picks up the basket, rests it against his hip, and steps outside into the morning sun. The light is golden, now soft, hazy, and full of the promise of another peaceful day. His cat watches him from the doorway, tail flicking slowly, eyes half closed. Sahure chuckles gently and begins the walk to the village market. A quiet walk to the market. The path is made of packed earth, worn smooth by years of sandals and carts. On either side are small homes like Sahure's, with flat roofs and pots of herbs sitting by the doorways. Palm trees sway slowly in the warm breeze, casting thin shadows on the road. The Nile is visible beyond the homes, its surface glittering, silent boats drifting lazily down its current. As Sahure walks, he greets his neighbors with soft words. "Good morning, Tia." The woman drawing water smiles. "The bread smells wonderful today, Sahure." He nods humbly. The oven was kind this morning. Children wave as he passes, some with small clay toys, others with wide eyes hoping for a crumb. He tears a corner from a misshaped loaf, hands it to a giggling boy, and continues down the path. The village market. The market sits beneath a row of fig trees. Not crowded, not noisy. Just a quiet collection of neighbors, each offering something simple: dates, garlic, woven baskets, clay jars, and linens. Sahure finds his usual spot, a flat stone beneath the shade of a tall tree. He sets down his basket and spreads the loaves before him. They look beautiful in the sunlight, each one unique but all warm, golden, and soft. He doesn't shout. He doesn't call out prices. Everyone knows him. They come in their own time. And so Sahure sits, hands resting in his lap, eyes half closed, listening to the breeze. The first customers. A young woman approaches first. Her head is wrapped in white linen, and she carries a basket filled with figs. 3 loaves, Sahure, she says softly. "One for my father. He says yours are the only ones he can chew." Sahur smiles and picks out the softest ones. She places a few figs beside him in exchange. No coins today, just a sweet barter between neighbors. Next comes a small boy sent by the temple. He carries a clay token marked with the image of the ibis Thoth, the god of wisdom. "For the priests," the boy says quietly, holding out the token. Sahur nods and selects 6 perfect loaves wrapped in linen cloth. He hands them over, then ruffles the boy's hair. Calm, midday moments. The sun climbs higher. Shadows grow shorter. Still, there is no rush. Sahur sits in a cool shade, watching life drift by as soft as the river itself. A woman sells thread. An old man carves a spoon. A boy teaches his younger brother how to stack pots without breaking them. The air smells of earth, figs, bacon oil, and the faint sweetness of pressed date wine. Occasionally, someone sits beside Sahur, not to buy, but to rest. They talk of simple things, a new baby, a stubborn goat, the strange bird seen flying over the fields that morning. A gentle midday nap. As the sun reaches its highest point, the market begins to doze. Sahur leans back against the tree trunk, his basket nearly empty now. He folds his arms across his chest, lowers his head and closes his eyes. Around him, the market quiets, even the birds rest. There is only the breeze, the rustle of leaves, and the occasional creak of a cartwheel. Time seems to pause. And in this moment, the world feels perfectly still. Just a quiet man in a quiet market in a forgotten corner of ancient history. This is how life was in Sahur's village. Not fast, not loud, but gentle, warm, peaceful. The kind of life that moves with the sun, with the river, with the rhythm of the oven fire and the cat's soft purr. The final customers. A little before afternoon ends, 2 more villagers approach. One is a potter, her hands stained with red clay. She picks out 2 loaves and offers a small jar of date jam in return. Sahur accepts with a nod, tucks the jar beside his cloth bundle. The other is a child with a small handful of wildflowers. She doesn't ask for bread, just smiles and holds out the flowers shyly. Sahur laughs softly. He picks out a soft roll and hands it to her with both hands. The flowers he lays gently beside his basket, a perfect gift. Walking home. By late afternoon, the market thins. The heat softens. The shadows grow longer. Sahur lifts his basket, now light, and begins the walk home. The village is quiet again. The boats are still on the river. A donkey grazes in the shade of a sycamore. He stops to greet an elder sitting outside her home. He offers her the last loaf in his basket. She holds his hand a little longer than expected, eyes kind and clouded. "Your father would be proud," she whispers. Sahur nods and continues down the path. Back home, the cat greets him with a yawn. The fire in the oven is cool now. The tools are stacked. The mat is swept. He sits by the doorway, jar of jam in hand, and eats the smallest heel of bread. Above him, the sky turns orange. The day winds down. And in this stillness, he feels a soft joy, not loud, not grand, just quiet satisfaction. A day in the life of a baker in ancient Egypt. Part 3. Sunset and Evening Rituals. Welcome back, dear friend. You followed Sahur through his quiet morning and his peaceful midday. Now, the sun begins its slow descent over the river, spilling golden light across the palm trees, the rooftops, and the soft, worn path leading home. Let's join Sahur once again as he settles into the final chapter of his day. A time of calm, a time of reflection, a time to rest. The colors of the sunset. The sky above the village begins to shift from pale blue to a soft orange glow, then gentle pinks, purples, and finally, the deepening blue of twilight. Sahur sits by the door of his home, his legs stretched out, his arms resting on his knees. Beside him, the small jar of date jam sits untouched, a simple treasure from the market, saved for a quiet moment. The warm bread from earlier is gone, crumbs scattered beneath the feet of his curious cat, who now curls up beside him. Together, they watch the sky change. No sound, no rush, only the hum of crickets waking and the whisper of reeds near the river. Lighting the evening flame. As the shadows grow longer, Sahur rises slowly and steps inside. The house is cool and dim now. The sun no longer reaches the back wall. He takes a clay oil lamp from a shelf its sides etched with the simple shape of a lotus. Filling it with fresh oil, he places a thin reed as the wick and carefully strikes the flint. A tiny flame flickers to life, gentle and golden. It casts a dancing glow on the walls swarming the clay, the linen draped over the table, the woven mat where he sleeps. This is how night begins in Sahur's world, not suddenly, but slowly, like a hush after a lullaby. A simple evening meal. Dinner is not grand, but it is good. Sahur unwraps a small bundle from the market lentils, soft goat cheese, and a few roasted onions. He places it on a wooden board and pours himself a small cup of barley drink, its surface cloudy and still. Sitting on the mat, he eats slowly, mindfully. Each bite is quiet. Every flavor familiar. Outside, the breeze flows gently through the doorway, bringing with it the scent of distant fields, still warm from the day. His cat sits nearby, watching with half-lidded eyes. Occasionally, Sahur drops a small piece of cheese for her. She accepts it with delicate grace. The night sky awakens. After his meal, Sahur steps outside once more. The world is dark now, but not frightening. Just still, just quiet. Above him, the sky is wide and endless. The stars begin to appear, one by one at first, then in clusters. They glitter above the Nile, reflected in the gentle waves. Sahur tilts his head and breathes deeply. He knows some of these stars by name, passed down from his father, who learned them from his father before him. There is Sopdet, the bright one, the star of the new season. There is Sa, the father of the sky, and the hunter with his eternal bow, watching over the horizon. A quiet walk before sleep. Sometimes, before bed, Sahur takes a short walk. Not far. Just to the edge of the field, where the wheat grows tall and golden, even under moonlight. He walks slowly, bare feet in the cool soil, his lamp casting a soft circle of light on the path. He pauses now and then to listen to frogs singing near the water, or to admire the pattern of shadows in the grass. This is his favorite time when the village is asleep, but the earth still speaks in whispers. Washing and evening rituals. Back inside, Sahur prepares for rest. He pours cool water from a clay jug, washes his hands and face, and dries them gently with a linen cloth. He tidies the small space folds the leftover cloth, sweeps a few fallen crumbs, and checks the oven one last time. Then, from a small wooden box, he removes a bundle of dried herbs, fragrant mint, some crushed myrrh. He places it near the lamp. The warmth releases the scent slowly, filling the room with something ancient and comforting. A smell his mother used to use when the nights were cold. Preparing for sleep. Sahura rolls out a woven mat on the floor, the same mat he has used for many years. Over it, a soft linen sheet. A small cushion made of papyrus stuffing. He lies down slowly, stretching once, then tucking the sheet around him. His cat settles near his feet, purring softly. The oil lamp flickers gently, then begins to dim. Sahura closes his eye. And now, the day is complete. The bread has been baked. The market has passed. The stars have returned to the sky. In this quiet house, in this ancient world, Sahura sleeps. And so can you. Let the stillness of his world wrap around you like linen. Let the scent of warm bread, the hush of the river, and the soft starlight guide you gently into the most peaceful sleep. A day in the life of a baker in ancient Egypt. Part 4. Dreams and Nighttime in the Village. The night has deepened. All across the village, little homes are quiet. The clay ovens are dark, the donkeys silent, the cats curled up in doorways, and the Nile flows with a hushed rhythm, as if it too is asleep. But while the body rests, the mind wanders through dreams. Let's join Sahura now as he slips into sleep and into the land of ancient dreams. Slipping into a dream. The stars above wheel slowly across the sky, marking time in silence. Sahura's breath is steady. His chest rises and falls like a river's tide. And then, his mind begins to drift. First, it floats above the village, over his little house, over the fields of wheat, and past the goats sleeping in their pens. The world seems to glow with the soft golden hue of memory. The dream begins, a caravan journey. In his dream, Sahura is no longer a simple village baker. He is riding on a camel, part of a vast and gentle caravan traveling across soft, endless desert dunes. The sand is warm beneath the creature's padded feet. The sun above is high, but in this dream, it doesn't burn. It only shines like a friendly guide. Around him walk traders from distant lands. Some wear robes of deep red, others soft blue, their sleeves trailing like river ribbons. They carry spices wrapped in silk, lapis lazuli in carved wooden boxes, and baskets of golden dates from foreign oases. No one speaks loudly. They all move in a calm rhythm, as though the whole world is a lullaby. A glimpse of the city of the gods. The caravan reaches a city, but not one Sahura knows from waking life. This city is dreamlike, with tall towers carved from ivory-colored stone, gardens that bloom at night, and fountains that sing with music instead of water. Children laugh softly in the distance, and cats sit like statues along every rooftop. Sahura walks through the city, barefoot and smiling. He smells fresh bread here too, like his own, but sweeter somehow. A woman hands him a fig tart, warm from the oven, and he thanks her without words. Meeting the Dream Pharaoh. At the heart of the Dream City, Sahura is welcomed into a great hall, where a kind, ancient pharaoh sits beneath a sky-painted ceiling. The pharaoh's voice is barely louder than a breath. He tells Sahura a simple truth. You are not small because you bake bread. You are great because you feed the world. Sahura bows, not out of fear, but in peace, grateful to be seen. And with a smile, the pharaoh blesses him not with gold or power, but with the gift of rest. Return to the fields. The dream changes again. Now Sahura walks through tall fields of wheat, the sky is filled with stars. The stalks glow with gentle light like lanterns. He runs his fingers along the golden heads of grain, and each one hums softly like a lullaby known only to the land. In the distance, he sees his family, his parents, his brothers, his old neighbors, all waiting at a table under a fig tree. They wave to him. They are not gone, only resting, just like him. The final moments asleep. Back in his bed, Sahura shifts slightly, his face calm, his breath soft. The oil lamp has gone out. Only starlight remains, filtering in through the little open window. His cat purrs gently at his feet. The scent of herbs still lingers faintly in the air. And outside, a soft breeze rustles the papyrus by the river. The village sleeps, and so do you. And now, dear listener, as Sahura's dream gently fades and the sky begins to pale once more, let your own thoughts drift. Imagine the warm bread in your hands, the quiet fields beneath a starlit sky, and the kind Pharaoh who sees your worth in every small kind thing you do. You are safe. You are warm. You are resting now, wrapped in linen dreams of a gentler time. The sun will rise soon, but not yet. For now, just sleep.